Dun.
Hello! Why not? Hello, everybody! It is wonderful to be here with you.
Yeah.
Back in house parties.
Back in house
Man,
parties.
I missed this.
It feels like it's been a really long time.
Yeah, I was sick when we had our house party Christmas party. It's been a month and a half since I've gotten to hang out with you guys.
We're glad you're back.
I'm so glad I'm back.
Yeah.
I know at this moment I am in my house party home, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah, same, for sure.
Well, now that we're back, we only have really one announcement. And that one announcement is, if you were at Student Night a couple weeks ago, you heard that we have announced the location of our missions trip this summer. We are going to South Dakota, Rapid City. Or if you went 2 years ago, we are going back to Rapid City. Right. It's going to be awesome. If you've never been on a missions trip before, it's incredible. We are going to be getting details to your parents very, very soon, like within the next couple of weeks. So that gives you plenty of time to talk with them about it, and all the things that need to happen. There will be more info to come, but just for now, just be excited and begin dreaming about how incredible it will be to spend a week together. It is so fun. Like, it is so fun. Yeah, I look forward to it every year. It's awesome. Yeah. That's the only announcement.
That's it. Yeah. So now it's time. Steven has a game for us?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. So if y'all don't know, we've had a whiteboard here at the church on Sundays. And Steven will write a prompt of some kind on it, and you have all been answering those prompts, and y'all have been doing amazing. So Stetson, what was our prompt of this week?
Yeah, what is your hot take? What's your controversial opinion that ruffles people's feathers, grinds their gears?
Which issues do you swim upstream?
That's right. That's right. So we're gonna rate these. Should we do it on a scale of 1 to 5?
I think we're gonna go pretty fast and just thumbs up or thumbs down if we agree.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
That way we can.
I like that. Okay.
You want to start with the first one?
Sure. First one. Fruity Pebbles is the most overrated cereal.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. You're wrong, Noah.
No.
They are incredible.
There might be better cereals, but overrated?
It's not overrated.
No.
Yeah, I don't. In fact, I think it's underrated. I hear very little people talking about it. I don't really hear people talking about cereal. All right, what's the next one, Landry?
Frozen yogurt is better than ice cream.
3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with Marley on this one. Frozen yogurt.
Frozen yogurt is great. Better?
Man, that fruity frozen yogurt, so
like
good.
sherbety? Yeah.
So good.
Okay.
All right, the next one is enchiladas are not good. This is from Emma.
3, 2, 1. No.
I think this is leader Emma too.
I gotta play my Texas card. You may just not have had good enchiladas yet, and there's pretty good places here.
Yeah. This looks like a cylinder with jelly on top next to some deer droppings.
It does.
So maybe that's why your enchiladas have not been good, Emma, because this is how you've been served them. Actually, I had a conversation with her. She's had good enchiladas. She said, I've had good enchiladas. And I was like, you just said they were good enchiladas. So, love you, Emma.
There's some controversy around this controversial take.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought? All right, is this you or me?
It's you. Go for it.
Frozen and the music in it, so Frozen the movie, is not good. So, opinions on Frozen music? 3, 2, 1.
I agree with this because I wrote it.
Because you wrote it.
Yep.
I think the music is fine.
It's not that great. No. It's kind of annoying after a while.
Is there something to be said about overexposure though? Maybe that's why.
Even so, I think it's just, I don't know.
Frozen 2?
I liked Frozen 2.
Okay.
It was good. Yeah, it was all right.
Okay.
But I think it was just overrated. It's not that good.
Okay.
All right, next one. Pizza with mac and cheese and baked beans on it is good. 3, 2, 1. I think this is a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
This is from Olivia.
I've never tried it, but I would try it.
I think it sounds phenomenal. So
I would give it a good old try.
Yes. Olivia, if you brought me a slice of pizza with mac and cheese and bacon, man, I'm hungry just thinking about it. I just ate, so...
Might be a fork and knife type of pizza, though.
Yeah, probably.
But still, I'd try it.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
Okay. Despite being a ginger, Ed Sheeran has good music.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
He's got a great voice.
Yep. Yeah. Nothing wrong with being a ginger either. Marley. Okay.
Oh yeah. So is this me?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, this was you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Apple is basic. This is from Steven.
3, 2, 1.
I love Apple products, and I think I kind of agree.
Same.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what's nice about it. A little bit. It's like it's uncomplicated.
Yeah.
So, back off, Steven.
Yeah.
He's right there. Okay, I think that was all the hot takes.
That was really good, y'all.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Okay, now we are going to move into the next thing.
I'm gonna disappear.
Okay. Hey guys, I am so glad that we are back in House Parties. Before we took a break, we were in the middle of the book of Mark, which was really great. And we are going to take a break from Mark for a few weeks because we are going to start a new series because the church that we are a part of, Christ Community Church, is doing this series and we're going to do it with them. They call it something else and we thought that title was lame, so we created a new title and we're calling it God Up Close. So we're going to be, if your parents go to Christ Community, we're going to be talking about a lot of the same things that they are talking about, so you guys can talk about it together. Now, what I loved about Mark was we got to look at the things that Jesus said and did thousands of years ago so we can get to know Jesus better when he was here on earth, because Jesus is the same today as he was back then. But the thing that we can kind of miss out on in just looking at Mark is this feeling of that the God back then is the same God today. What I've heard a lot of you guys saying is you want a closer friendship with God. You want to be more connected with God. You want to have a deeper relationship with God. And here's the good news. As much as you want that, God wants that with you even more. Like something you hear me saying all the time is God loves you more than you can possibly imagine. And that's true for every single one of you listening to this. Like he created you. He delights in you. He thinks that you're incredible and he would love nothing more to have a closer connection with you, a closer friendship with you, a deeper relationship with you. But the problem is, we don't always know how to do that. Like in a normal relationship, we interact with a person that we can see and hear and touch, but God, we can't see or hear or touch him, at least not all the time. Like very rarely do those things happen. Like we have learned how to have friendships and relationships with people in the physical plane of reality, like the part of reality that we can touch and see and hear. But God, he is spiritual. Like I'm pretty sure most of you are aware that there is also a spiritual plane of reality alongside the physical plane of reality. And so when we've been so used to like interacting with people on the physical plane, how do we interact with God if he is mostly on the spiritual plane? Well, that's what this series is about. For those of us who want this closer relationship with God, in this series, we're going to talk about ways that we can interact with God so that we can experience him up close, so we can have a deeper friendship and relationship with him. And the very first way that we are going to do that is through the practice of stillness. There is something my wife does that's kind of a pet peeve. It drives me nuts all the time. We will be talking and she will go into a different room and continue talking to me as if I'm in that room with her when she's left the room that we're talking in. Like I hear her talking, but I can't hear what she's saying. And I say all the time, Allie, I can't hear you if you are in a different room. We need to be in the same room to have a conversation. Like if you were in the same building as someone and you want to spend time with them, that doesn't matter. You need to be in the same room as them. So, what room is God in? Well, God is everywhere, but there is kind of a specific place or realm, you could say, that God really loves to interact with us in. And it's in this deep place of our heart and our soul and our feelings and our emotions. And he also likes to spend time with us here and now in this present moment. Like he's not worried about things that have happened. He's not nervous about things that are going to happen in the future. Like he is calmly here. And he loves to spend time with us in this moment, in places of our heart and our soul and our feelings and our emotions. So if God is in this deeper place of our heart and our soul and our feeling and emotions and in the present moment, that's kind of a problem because we don't spend a lot of time in those places. For one, because we're so busy. Like school is busy. If you have a job, work is busy. Sports is busy. Band is busy. Theater is busy. Whatever you're busy with is busy. And when we're not busy, we often distract ourselves with things like Netflix and TikTok and YouTube and video games. And all that stuff is great. I think it's awesome, truly. But we don't often take the time to stop and think about, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? Like, what's going on in here? And another thing is we are not very often present in this moment. Like a lot of you struggle with anxiety. I do too from time to time. And it's easy to kind of obsess about things that have happened in the past and like kind of replay them in our heads. And so in our mind, we're back there, or we're anxious or nervous or stressed or worried about something that's going to happen in the future. And so our mind is there and we're not really here. So if God wants to spend time with us in this place of our heart and our soul and our feelings and our emotions and in this present moment, that's kind of a problem because we're not really there that often. But what if there was something that we could do to help us get there, to the place that God really loves to spend time with us? That's where stillness comes in. Stillness is slowing down long enough to become aware of our feelings and our emotions and our thoughts and to be present in this moment. And we're going to do this together. I'm going to walk you through it. But before we do that, I wanted to explain how it works. And it's really, really easy. The first thing that you need to do to practice stillness is to pick a time and a place to do it. It has to be a place where there aren't a lot of distractions. So probably you'll have to be alone somewhere. It can't be in like a coffee shop or like in the middle of the school hallway or something like that. That would be too distracting. And you need to remove distractions too, like your phone. So you pick a time and a place to be away from distractions. And then the second thing is once you're in that time and place that you've decided on, you do things to help you really slow down and calm down. Now, a lot of people call stillness meditation. Stillness and meditation, they're very, very similar. They're pretty much the same thing. And there's a lot of really great meditation techniques out there. Some of my favorites are really simple. You just start by focusing on your breathing and taking slow breaths, and you close your eyes and you just kind of become aware of where you are. Like, what room are you in? What are the objects in the room? What are the things that you're feeling or hearing in the room? Just like on a really physical level, because again, our minds are usually in the past or the future, but to be aware of where we are helps us to be present. And once we've kind of slowed down and allowed ourselves to be here, then we can start asking ourselves questions like, what am I feeling? What emotions am I feeling? Am I feeling happy about something? Am I feeling anxious, angry, annoyed, excited, joyful? Just like, what am I feeling? And we're not trying to get too deep into the why or whether or not it's good or bad. We're just simply asking, what am I feeling? Or another question we could ask is, what am I thinking about? Have I been worried about something coming up? Am I thinking about something that has happened? Am I thinking about a person? And again, we're not beating ourselves up, but whether this is good or bad, we're just like becoming aware. What has my mind been focused on? And once we get there, we move on to the third step, which is this. We just tell God about it. Like, that's it. Like, kind of like a friend would talk to another friend. It's like, I'm feeling angry. Like, it's as simple as like slowing down and realizing is like, I've been really afraid. And then stopping and telling God, I've been really afraid. That's it. You're not having like a whole conversation about it. There's not like this back and forth. You're just opening up to God about what you've been thinking and what you've been feeling. And you just tell him. And it's important for us to remember when we do that, he cares. Again, he loves you more than you can possibly wrap your mind around. He would love to hear from you what's on your mind and what you're thinking and what you're feeling. Like, this happens in the Bible. There's a book in the Bible called Psalms, and it is full of people just telling God how they're feeling. This is Psalm 55, 1-5. Someone said this to God, God, listen to my prayer and do not hide from my plea for help. Pay attention to me and answer me. I am restless and in turmoil with my complaint because of the enemy's words, because of the pressure of the wicked. For they bring down disaster on me and harass me in anger. My heart shudders within me. Terrors of death sweep over me. Fear and trembling grip me. Horror has overwhelmed me. That's pretty honest. And in that person, like, there's just like a part in the Bible where someone is just like, God, I'm freaking out. And that's all they're doing. They're not trying to like figure it out in any way. They're just sharing that with God. Now, the first time you do this, you might not notice anything different happening. But if you were to tell God how you're feeling every day for a while, what's going to happen is you'll probably start feeling closer and closer to him. Because this happens with people. If you talk to a person every single day about how you're feeling, you would grow in your friendship with them. Same thing happens with God. Every day, if you slow down and become aware of where you're at internally, and you just tell God that like a friend would talk to another friend, that's kind of the first big step in causing your relationship with God to grow closer and experiencing God up close. Now, here's the thing. During this series, each week, we are going to give you an experiment and a challenge. We're going to encourage you to try to do something every day throughout the week. And then next week, when we come back in house parties, we're going to ask what that experience was like for you. Now, this is totally up to you. Like, you get to decide whether you do it or not. But for those of you who have said, like, I want to have a closer connection with God, we're giving you ways to possibly experience that. If you leave on a house party on a Wednesday night and you do none of this throughout the week, probably nothing is going to change. Like, that's just kind of logic. But if throughout the week you try this, you might, depending on how you're wired, experience a change in how close you feel in your relationship with God. So this week, every day, what we're going to challenge you to do is practice stillness. Find a time and a place, slow down, figure out what you're feeling and thinking, and then just talk to God about it. That's it. It takes like 5 or 10 minutes. You can do it, and I think you'll love it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're actually going to do this together. Okay, here we go. We are going to practice stillness together. And the first step is figuring out a time and a place, which we've already figured out. That time is now, and that place is now. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to close your eyes, and I want you to just start taking some deep breaths in and out. And every time you take a breath in and let a breath out, I want you to count. So like a breath in is 1 and a breath out is 2. Not out loud, but just like in your head. And I want you to slowly breathe in and out until you count to 10. I'll give you a moment to do that right now. Okay, now just let your breathing do its thing. Don't think too much about it. But with your eyes closed, I want you to just try to become aware of where you are right now. Like, where are you sitting? What does the thing you're sitting on feel like? Can you feel the weight of your body pressing into whatever it is you're sitting on? What are the objects in the room around you? Like, even with your eyes closed, can you remember where you are? Do you hear like the heater coming on in the vents, or like are there other noises or things? There's people in the room. Like, are you aware that you're in a room with people? Just, this might sound silly, but just take a moment and just really focus on where you are. Okay, now that we've slowed down a bit, we can start asking ourselves some questions. So the question I want you to think about is this: what am I feeling? Or what have I been feeling lately? What are the emotions that you've been feeling? Don't try to figure out why. Just try to name them. Like, I have been feeling anxious, or I have been feeling excited. Just whatever they are. I'll give you a moment to answer the question, what emotions have you been feeling? Okay, if you want to keep thinking about that, you can, but another question you could ask yourself is, what have I been thinking about? Like, what has my mind been spending its time on? Is there something coming up that you've been worried about? Is there something that happened that you can't stop thinking about? Is there a person you can't stop thinking about? Just take a moment and try to answer the question, what's been on my mind? What have I been thinking about? Okay, with your eyes still closed, we're going to move on to the third step of this. And it's now that you've taken the time to realize kind of how you're feeling and what you're thinking, and you've gone to the level of your heart and your soul, now all you need to simply do is just talk to God about it and just tell him, God, I have been feeling fill in the blank, or I can't stop thinking about whatever it is, fill in the blank. So I'll just give you a moment right now. Don't overcomplicate this. Don't over spiritualize it. Just talk to him like you would talk to one of your friends and just let him know. And just tell him, God, this is how I've been feeling. This is what I've been thinking about. So I'll just give you a moment to do that right now. All right, so that was practicing stillness. It's as simple as that. And again, the heart behind this is knowing God wants to hear from you. He wants to spend time with you. He wants a deeper friendship and connection and relationship with you. So, guys, I hope you have a really good time talking about this with your house party. I'm really curious to know what your experience of this was. Maybe it was amazing. Maybe it was boring. I don't know. But I'm just really glad we're back in house parties. I hope you have a really great rest of your night with each other, and we will see you next week.